Well, good morning, everybody. This is dear Mama Sal on a cold Monday morning. It's 3 degrees, but I need to tell you there were signs that there was a frost overnight on my windshield this morning. And in fact, I had to just warm my car up a little before I started it. And so I took those few moments to take the residual ice off Yvonne's car as well. So it's 3 degrees here in southern British Columbia, but I guess that would translate to about 38, I think. Yeah, 38 in American. So chilly for the time of year. And I hope you'll remember to put your clocks back forward, rather, on Saturday night, early Sunday morning. I managed to do okay with that until I went into the kitchen and then realized, actually I also just realized that my car clock is wrong as well. Hang on a second. Let's get that fixed before I forget it. There we go. Luckily, I find the spring forward much easier to adjust on my car than the go backwards one. Anyway, so I think now I have everything sorted out. It's very difficult, isn't it? It's, as you can probably hear, I am 99% better than I was. I could only be better than I was. I was really not well on Friday, Saturday. I spent the day in bed on Friday. I was running a fever, and I always know if my body has had enough because I just sleep and wake up and sleep and wake up and sleep and wake up, and that's what I did. I realized by Friday night I was not going to be doing a whole lot better in the next 24 hours, so I had to cancel going down to the twins' first birthday party, which broke my heart, but it was what it was. And I do know in my own heart that it was the right decision to make. It would have been too much strain on my body, and I would have ended up probably sick all week, which nobody would want for me. So I am hoping that the worst of it has gone. I certainly feel well enough to go to work, although I'm not totally better yet, but certainly well enough to go to work. I managed to be up for most of the day yesterday. I took a couple of hours sleep in the afternoon, but basically made it. Now, I'd like to apologize for all my regular viewers for the fact that there were no broadcasts over the weekend and no vlogs either, and normally I would do both at a weekend, but I really wasn't up to it. And I also, it's my windshield washer is low apparently. I also, I also have a house guest at the moment. So luckily a very self-sufficient one who managed to feed themselves very well when I was out for the count. Such is life, right? I'm very grateful that, that's all that was wrong with me. And that, just 48 hours of rest and I was doing a whole lot better. I want to thank all the broadcast people who managed to keep the broadcast going for me this weekend. I really appreciated it. I am certain that the viewers did as well. I just was not in a space to even... I don't know, it was really weird. At one point I thought I really should should log in and see what if anybody was doing anything. And you know, by the time I thought that through, I was asleep again. So anyway, the good news is here I am. And I appear to have nothing left of this except a cold, and I'm very grateful. So I guess we're going to call this recovery. Now, I am aware that there was a colleague at work who had a really nasty thing going on, and I'm pretty sure that's where I got this from. And again, I wouldn't normally have caught it, except my immune system obviously was a bit compromised, and that means that I was a bit overwhelmed to start with. And I find whenever that happens that I'm more susceptible to catching whatever's going around. I wonder if you find the same thing. And I must admit, it really shocked me on Thursday morning that I couldn't continue with my vlog. I've never had that happen before, where I got about this far, I guess, and my mind just went totally blank. And there was just like, I had not got the energy almost to carry on talking. And that's when I realized I was in trouble. Now, I am really interested to see that the little cooking videos really do seem to be things that people are enjoying, and that really surprises me. So I'd like to thank you for that. It's interesting to know. The other thing that I found really interesting when I did get a chance to actually sort of become halfway conscious yesterday was to have a look at some figures, which I normally do at the weekend. And I continue to thank all the British viewers. Thank you for obviously sharing me, because it's amazing how many extra British viewers I've got over the last couple of months. So thank you guys, really nice to meet you. And having grown up in Kent, it obviously is really pleasing to me that you guys are enjoying what I do. So thank you very much indeed. I wanted to find out really what life lessons, if any, you would like me to cover. I know that there have been some calls from the broadcast people for me to do a broadcast on anxiety, and if any of you are interested in that, let me know, and then we'll try and set it up so that a lot of people can know that we're going to do it. Definitely the broadcast that we did on contouring was a big hit. And it was, when I say that, it was nice to see that I got quite a few comments from you guys, and it was really nice for me because it overcame my issue that I had with that period I had, what, a year ago, I guess, nearly, from a hater that just had me not do any more makeup videos for nearly a year. So the fact that we did it and we laughed a lot, I love the person, I can't remember who it was, but whoever it was that wrote to me and said watching the contour video looked like I had a major upper body workout trying to do that contouring. And it appears that a lot of you were entertained by the fact I was so darn confused. You know, which powder, which this, which that. I had so many of the darn things. But without a doubt, it has changed the way in which I put on my makeup. So thank you very much indeed again for Leah, Liz, Nana, and Alice. Who else was there? Who were doing this with me? Erin as well. Really, thank you so much, and for those of you who were viewing, because some were brave enough to come up on camera and do it with me, and others were just laughing. And what I wondered is whether any of you would like us to do any more of those sort of group things where we can all try something out, and you can end up laughing at me but maybe learn something along the way. And if there are any particular makeup strategies that you would like help with, I'm trying to think what it might be. I keep wondering whether the eyebrow thing is the next one. God forbid. I know this is going to be nothing but trouble for me. But whether it's that or the smoky eye thing, or... And I know that there are lots of stuff. This is always the confusion to me. There's so much stuff on the internet about these things. But if you find it more helpful to see somebody who isn't good at it trying to do it, then just let me know and we'll see what we can do. So in terms of my recovery, I'm going to also try and fit in a couple of cooking things this week, although I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I'll have to give that a bit of thought. Because I normally don't cook very much during the week. Sorry everybody, I think I'm going to sneeze. Let's hope not. And the worst thing is I've just realized that I've run out of tissues in my car, which means I need to get some more in here in a hurry. So just let me know what you would like, if anything, and let's see what we can do. I think overall though that this has been it was a heartbreaking Friday for me, realizing that I wasn't going to be able to make it down for the birthday party. And more so that I haven't even really had a chance to see the video footage that Judy put up about it, and I'm hoping to make time to do that this evening. It was really, really tough. I did manage to do a family dinner of sorts last night. Just for those of you who like to hear how I use my slow cooker, I actually just quickly cooked up a little bit of ground beef when I was sort of feeling strong enough in the morning. I put it at the bottom. I put 2 cans of soup, and I've got a feeling it was Scotch broth or something that I put in. I then put a whole massive layer of vegetables. As you know, I like to do that sort of meal and use up the week's vegetables. I then added, oh yes, I made a boo-boo. I'll try and write down the ingredients when I do this video, but I accidentally, was going to put in a couple of shakes of Worcester sauce, because that's what I would normally put in, and for some reason the top bit that normally is in the top and regulates how much comes out wasn't there, and so my couple of shakes was probably 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce, which I think gave it its incredible flavor last night. And then I added some Bovril seasonings, the liquid one where you just squirt it over the top. and some soy sauce I think I put in just because. And then in the last half hour or less, I added some frozen corn and some frozen peas. And I cooked overall for about 5 hours on high. And that was with the meat already cooked, you understand. So the interesting thing here was that the Worcestershire sauce just really gave it one heck of a great flavor. And I must make that mistake again. We served it with mashed potato and also bread to dunk in the extra gravy. The guys loved it. They said it was real man food, so that was good. But so to me, a very clever way to end a week or start a week, depending on how you see Sundays. You know, number one, use up the vegetables, or use up most of the vegetables so that you don't have to throw them away. But secondly, you know, it was just a 500 grams or half a pound, I guess, or a pound, it would have been a pound, of hamburger. Fed, you know, 4 people very adequately. And I think what I like about the crock pot is, for example, I was not feeling well. It took me probably 20 minutes to put all the ingredients in, and then I went back to bed, basically. I just left it cooking for 5 hours or whatever it was, 4 or 5, it must be 5 hours. I just left it cooking. And for the longest time, it didn't look like it was going to be great. And then just towards the end, I think actually towards the end, I mixed up a little bit of gravy powder and water because I wanted to thicken it a bit. And so I added some gravy powder and water just to thicken it up. But it sure tasted good. And trying to think what vegetables I had in there. Onions, leeks, green onions I had left over. I served, I think I had some giant mushrooms that I cut up in there. I had a whole container of tomatoes that I put in. So lots of good healthy vegetables in there. I even had some bok choy in there. For those of you who know what bok choy is. Definitely well worth doing, and very economical. Now, Manon, I wish to give you a challenge. I have started tidying up my bedroom again. And the reason I mention Manon is Manon and I have a similar problem with our bedrooms. So, Manon, if you listen to this, I just want to challenge you to get working on yours. And I'm actually going to, just so that you know, I'm going to be working on the top left-hand corner of my room tonight. I've got a little area that's difficult to get to, and so things end up in there like dust bunnies. So I'm going to give that, I'm going to move my computer table and everything else and get in there and give it a good clean tonight. The other thing I did, to my horror, is I desperately needed to go and buy some new browse this weekend, and the joke was, it's more information that some of you need, but apparently I've gone up a size since I last bought them. So I've got to go back and change them tonight. Let's see if they let me do it. I don't know if they do these days. So it was just like, oh no, after all that, I actually rushed out and went and got them, and then they don't fit. So we will see. On a beautiful day, it's now 5 degrees. It certainly looks a lot better than it did when I arrived here. I am going to do the best to have a really productive day if I can. I'm going to wish you well. Enjoy yourselves. Look after one another. Do the best you can. Try not to overwhelm. And if you do, as I did, do what you need to do to give your body enough rest to recover. This is dear Mama Sal saying bye-bye for now.